Almost perfect. Almost perfect. Ah. Oh. And also I said fuck. Damn. Okay. I think that's better. Hi. I'm trying out my new studio. And my eyes are supposed to be on you. Hi. Thank you for joining. I'm doing my very best to look up and at you. I'm probably not supposed to say that, so I'll probably edit that out. But good morning. It's Saturday morning. I'm going to share this with folks who might want to come in. As you enter the room, please like and or subscribe to my channel. This is my new digs. What do you think? My whole house isn't behind me. Better, right? Thanks for joining. I don't actually have a pendulum near me, so we are doing heavy. We are all about tarot, and I think that I'll chop this up so it just starts right here. So hey, let's pull some cards. Good morning. It's Saturday morning. Good morning. Yay! Yes, we have my cards out. Let's see what we've got, Maria. Or Marie. I'm sorry, Maria. Marie. I keep saying Maria. But it says Maria. Okay. Let's pull a card for me and you. What do you think? Let's see what we need to do today. Before we pull, Maria, do you want to ground real quick? Isn't that the best way to get started? Everything I've been reading and seeing has said that we need to get grounded and keep ourselves really, really organized for this time. So 3 deep breaths in through the nose and then out through the mouth. So we're going to ground. So we're just deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth to release your day so far. Let go of everything that you've seen and heard today. Again, in through the nose, out through the mouth. This one's to become really heavy. Try to ground. And I always say try to break your chair. So get really, really heavy in your chair. And then in through the nose, out through the mouth to connect with me. And I'm going to pull a card for us, okay? So Marie, what we need to focus on today, let's do 2, active and passive. So actively, let's see what we've got. Actively. Ooh, good one. Victory. So today is, this is a Wands card. So victory is really about like actually stepping into that which you've already kind of won. You know how there's a victory lap? That's somebody accepting or allowing or being inside of that winning that they did. So you and I need to look around and look at the value that we have and then accept the victory for what we've got. You know, we do the opposite of that with bad things. We accept the bad thing and then all the consequences around that bad thing. We do that really good. But today, you and I get to practice what we have, all the good things that we do have. And this is energetic. Wands is about what we're going to do with their energy. So with our energy, instead of focusing on those things that separate us and the things that we're still looking for and still have to work on, we're going to see every single thing in our world as a victory and then figure out how it can be. I love that idea. You know who does that really good is Arnold Schwarzenegger. If you ever listen to him on an interview, the man cannot be insulted. It doesn't matter what people say to him. He hears it as a compliment, and that's you and I are going to practice that today. In addition to, like claim the victory for all of our environment. And then passively, Marie, you and I, and whoever just joined us, we are going to be stable. So this is the change card. If you can see that, it's change, but it's inverted. And it's a 2 card. And so today, instead of a whole bunch of change and being into what to change or dealing with change, we're really going to kind of, for everything that's temporary, for everything that, for everything that's temporary, we're going to just keep it still today. Today is not about changing those things. And actually, the card of the day is the Chariot, which is about strategic planning. So that's actually about planning on what you're going to change at another time. It's not a time to move a whole bunch right now. So whatever questions, and I want you to look at our little spread here that we did, you and me today, Marie. Our little spread is nice and purple. See all the purple in it? I'm trying to get the glare off the light. Okay. You see how purple it is? There's light purple here. There's a little bit of dark purple here. And so that's about deep knowledge. That light purple, we're going to be learning and kind of accepting some new, fresh information that we get to use to imbibe and empower our family. you know, me and my sister were talking about all the family curses that we're breaking, and there's a lot of them. What family curses are you breaking, Marie? Are you aware of any of them? Of drinking in your family or anything that you're overcoming? I would love to know. In the meantime, if you have any questions, please go ahead and pop them in. Yes, absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and open up on Facebook because, because we're waiting to get some questions. So let me copy this and go ahead and put it in my Facebook feed and invite my family to come on over. Yay! Family and friends and all that. So that's good. Breaking the curse of lack and limitations. Those are terrible curses. We have a curse. We have a little bit of there's a weird negativity that happens in my family, and it comes to me actually from both sides. It's different from my mom's side and from my dad's side, but it's the same. I wanted to say glitch, but that implies that it's wrong. It's the same tendency that I see from both sides, and that's like to take a good situation and like find a way for it to be bad and then focus on that. And I think it's a very particular way that it happens, and I see why I do it the way I do, because I was spending time with family members this week, and I was like, oh, that's where that comes from. Wherever I got that from, they got the same thing. It's pretty fun. So let's see. Let's see where we meet. Marie, if you have lack and limitations in your family, I know that there's a branch of that in my family too. So what if a good question would be, what's the best way to deal with the family pathologies we're dealing with? That's what Auntie Iyanla Van Zandt calls it, family pathologies. So let's look and see. How do we deal, you and I, what are the best ways to deal with the family pathologies of lack and of limitations? That's like a lack of ambition. All right, let's see. I'm gonna pull active and I'll pull one card for this. Let's pull one card for that, Marie. I'm actually gonna look. And it wants to, of course it's gonna want to be two because it just said let's pull one. So here's what we got. Remember I was talking about purple, that deep knowledge? So here, this card is all purple in the background. And then the front is yellow. So that's deep knowledge plus intuition. What else do you need? This is the wealth card. And it's a big money card. And all of those coins talks about inner and outer wealth, richness is what the wealth card is all about. And so the way that we're going to deal with lack and limitations, I pulled up wealth. And so that is to get the kind of money that you can't wash off, to get the kind of money you can't lose in a bet. I don't mean money, I mean wealth, I mean resources. We're supposed to be able to provide for our families. We're going to be able to imbibe and bring to this is provision. And so that's what wealth is about. And wealth is about wisdom as well as resources. So it's about sharing what have you learned so far. Is there anything you've learned so far in this journey that would help the next generation? How do you share it with them and your family? And then the art card. And this is the poor art card is usually seen as one of the more boring cards. It's temperance in some of the other decks. But it's not really seen as an exciting card because it really is about balance. And the good thing about that is we're in the middle of Libra season, which is all about balance. Libras can give you all the balance that you could possibly want. They are so involved with balance that sometimes it's hard for them to make a decision because they see value in every single thing. And while they're trying to weigh it out, sometimes the time passes them or the opportunity passes them. So that's where Libras have to be careful. And there's a lot of Libra in this card. And if you look at it, there's a lion here at the bottom, that little white thing. He's actually a lion, but he's lost all of his color because he gave too much of himself. He gave so much of himself. He's not even a brown lion with a huge mane anymore. And so this card reminds you that you can only give from your overflow. Don't give that sacrifices yourself. And so today, as we look at what we're going to do to break these family pathologies, we know that it has to do with wealth. So it has to do with the deep knowledge that we're going to add to the situations. That's wealth. And then it has to do with balancing our work life thing. So we're not giving too much of it. Do you have an issue with over-sacrificing in your family? Or do you, Marie? Do you find that you over-sacrifice? I know I do. At the beginning of relationships, I do that terribly. And then one more card that wanted to come along for the ride for you and Marie, me and you, Marie. Ah, it's the Devil card. How great. Look, if I turn it upside down, it's almost my hairstyle, right? Am I not supposed to look like the devil? Probably not. Anyway, this card is about adding fun. And so the way that we're doing this, like pulling cards to figure out what part of this we're going to deal with, first of all, that's fun. And second of all, accepting that, you know what I mean? Like, there's only so much time that we have on the planet. You know, everything that we have, we're borrowing from the angel of death. I heard that when I was listening to this thing about the Four Agreements. I was listening to the audiobook of the Four Agreements. And in the Four Agreements, before the Four Agreements, there's like a foreword or like an introduction that tells you all about them. And while the guy was talking about the Four Agreements, he goes into how everything around us we're borrowing from the angel of death. Isn't that too much reality for you? It's so spot on. It's true. Everything we have, we are borrowing from the angel of death. But who thinks of it that way? Nobody wants to think about that, because that means, I mean, it brings into question your own mortality too. But the idea to keep in mind that everything's temporary, I think can help us move along, because, you know, especially women, we nurse our pain. We nurse our pain. We, you know, put fresh blood into it. We keep it alive. We do a whole lot with our pain that isn't as helpful as it would be to try to make more useful choices. I don't mind that it's here. I don't mind that we deal with it, but I want it to be effective. I don't want to waste my time, right? So what else we need to pull? All right, so I need some questions now. We've got a good idea of some places to go, some things to focus on. I can dig into the questions that I have, but I think there's some long tarot sessions I need to have with myself here in the next couple of weeks. Pull for the collective. I will pull for the collective. You know, I wanted to pull for Auntie Iyanla on her video this morning. Was saying there's some strange times coming. And she was saying that we should declutter around ourselves, and that we need to ground and get a better relationship with our spiritual selves, because the things that she sees coming are going to challenge us in some ways that we've not been challenged before. And she had a concern and a gravity when she was speaking that she doesn't usually have. And so, although she didn't share specifically what she thinks is coming, it seemed serious and important. So I'm a little bit down actually after hearing that, because I'm like, uh-oh, that's a little bit of worry. You know what I mean? So I'd like to pull, just take into consideration that she kind of took the time out to express to us that she had seen some things coming that are going to affect us. I'd like to pull about how do we prepare, right? How do we best prepare for what's coming? You know, she said over the next couple of weeks in December, things she said would look real strange. But so let's see. How do we, fall is until December 20th, right? Or 21st. And so let's see what we need to do for the rest of fall. I'm going to pull for the collective. So I'm going to pull, this is for the world, not just me and you. How the collective, I'm saying the collective is everybody who's tapped into the oversoul, everybody who is in the superconscious. So I'm going to take a deep breath and pull, what do we as a species, the human species, what do we as a species need to do? Okay. Wow. Of all the things, this is adjustment. This is the balance card, adjustment. And actually, the card comes up as a daily card in a couple of days. So the adjustment card, if you can tell, one of the most beautiful things about this card is that it's pretty much the same when it's upside right, or when it's inverted. Because this card isn't about anything other than balance, like using, it's about balance. It's a Libra card. I was going to try to use different words than what I've been using, but if you look right there, first of all, it has a Libra on it. You see that Libra symbol right there? This is the symbol. This is the sign for Libra. I'm going to have to figure out how to show that kind of stuff to you guys better. That's the sign for Libra. See it? There it is. There's a sign for Libra. So it's a Libra card. So it's all about balance. That means weighing the good and the bad and finding how to hold the scale so that it is equal. And if you notice on this card, the figure is balancing on the tip of a sword. Now, in order to achieve equilibrium and balance on the tip of a sword, time and space and mass have all got to be in this like kind of perfect alignment. And that only happens for a moment. Instantly, something can happen. Any variable that changes means that you're off balance again. You have to come back to balance. And so our day-to-day, or what we as a collective need to do, and this is for everybody who's connected to the superconscious, that's everybody in the world, is we need to find balance. And I so agree. And the reason I agree is because when I look at my timeline, everybody's saying the same thing. There's no balance. Everybody's saying the same thing. And every time somebody speaks in a different way, there's like this kind of shutdown that happens, right? And so I think that, I mean, I've always been a fan of the Thoth Tarot, but I believe that adjustment is exactly what we need to do. A balance is exactly what we need to do. Find that equilibrium within ourselves. It starts from, that's correct. It does start within. And if we're coming from a grounded place and a place of love, then when people are trying to like fool us into like being angry at a group of people we're not angry at, or feeling a certain way about people we don't feel that way, nobody can like push you around as much when you're grounded. You know, it's just, it's all the same thing as Aikido. Once you find your feet under yourself where they're supposed to be, it's hard to knock you off of your balance. So our job is to get ourselves fortified and grounded. So what grounds you? What keeps you ready for the day? What keeps you prepared? And what reinforces your boundaries when you go up against the world, and when you go out onto your Facebook, and when you like start interacting with people? What makes sure that you stay with your integrity and that you stay within that which is important to you? Is it doing affirmations every day? Is it making sure that your environment is as orderly as it can be? Do you reward yourself with going out after you've done certain things? Like, do you write down a list of what you need to do every day to make sure that there's progress happening? How do you keep yourself moving forward? So let's go from this idea of thriving, this idea of existing to thriving. Let's close the gap. Let's close that delta. What's the difference between you right now and you thriving? Write down a list of 4 things, and let's get started on at least one. It does start from within. What balance do you have? What balance can you offer? What peace can you offer? What can you do to make your home greet you? A lady today on a video I was watching was saying that some people would describe their home as restorative. Is your home restorative? Does it restore you? Is there a corner of your home you could make restorative for just you, to bring you back? Because, you know, we all need to recreate. We all need to take it down and de-people for a minute. You know what I mean? And then go back out into the world. But in that moment, when you are bringing yourself down, when you are like giving yourself that peace, what restores you? What recreates you? There's a lot of death right now. Yeah, deep people. I had to, yesterday, I spent a really beautiful time with beautiful people. But after about 5 hours, I was done. There's a lot going on in my life, and there's a lot of time that I need for my subconscious to process things, you know? And afterwards, we were supposed to do something else. And I was like, As soon as I got back to where I could see my car, I was ready to go. And it had nothing to do with the people. What was happening was just time. I'm just now starting to get back around people, and that's taking some more time than I thought. Look, happiness just popped out for us while I was shuffling. We get an extra shot of happy, me and you, Marie. All right. All right. So let's see. If we can't think of another question, I have a couple. But so if you don't have any, happy. Yeah, it's all about that, right? So if we can't think of another question, then I'll. What are mine? I've been avoiding them. Should I? Let's see. I'm gonna ask if I should. How can you help others? How can you help others? Good question. How can you help others? I'll ask. Let's ask the cards. Let's see what area you need to get involved in. How can you help others? So for ourselves, we're all supposed to find adjustment and balance. You can help others, Marie. It's right in the middle. Save money. Are you big? It says save money. This is the ace of discs and it's inverted. So usually it's a big money card. And when it's inverted, it's saying to conserve. So the way that you should help others is share how to save money. Do you coupon really well or something? There must be something that you have that you can share about some hacks with how to save money. How cool is that? I need those. You need to PM me 7 of them. What else? What else was I gonna ask? I was gonna ask about oh man. If we know what for the collective what we need to do to try to get ready, how to manifest money. Absolutely. I was gonna say I'm losing my train of thought. For the collective, we needed to know what we need to do, right? Oh, I wanted to ask, everybody keeps saying that the veil between worlds is thinner and that the dimensions are like, there's access to different dimensions and stuff right now because of what's going on in the world, because of some, like, I don't know. Let's see if the cards agree, right? And the question is about, is the veil thinner? Now, we know in the fall, the veil's thinner anyway. That's why Halloween is when it is. It's about the veil being thinner, and it's about having access to some more of the spirit. Well, that's when Dia de los Muertos is the same time. It's like right in the same time period, that end of October, beginning of November. There's something about crossing over. Oh, and there's a big shift coming on 12/21. Is that a bad thing? Let's see. Well, the first question I was going to ask was, is the veil thinner? So let's ask if the veil's thinner. So here I'm going to go pull. Is the veil thinner right now? Let's pull. 3 cards is for yes, no, and the middle one counts twice. Ooh, one just popped out. Oh my goodness, I'm scared to look at what it is. And then, okay. So I'm showing probably no. And the reason is because of the lack of love. This is the middle card, which is Ace of Cups. It's inverted, which is showing there's a lack of love. So right now we're busy heartlessly killing the earth. Another reason why the veil is not thinner is because we're stuck behind some of our old habits. This is the Fool card. See how he's inverted? Mind you, we don't have any minor arcana yet. There's an Ace and there's the Fool. Ace is the beginning or most emotional card there is, right? Or everlasting love, but it's inverted. We don't have that for each other. And then we're stuck. We're not having breakthroughs. And if you can see the tiger on this card, it's at the top when he's inverted. So that fear is ruling everybody. So we're being ruled by fear and there's no love. That's the problem with right now. That's the problem why we can't see that thin veil. Most of it. This is for everybody, so this is going to be a majority. And the only thing that's upright is love. So I'm just telling you how this card is all about everlasting love, but it's inverted, so we don't have that for each other. There's this new, and this is a major card. This is a ace. We're just now starting to try to find the individual, like one-on-one connection is starting to happen. That's just now starting to happen. And as that increases, then you get to access the veil. You can't go running back and forth through the veil willy-nilly, I suppose. And so we, as a group of people, we need to get back to being able to love each other through some stuff. And then we can see some ancestors or whatever is on the other side of the veil. So the other question was the big shift on 2021 or 1221. I want to pull about that, right? I want to pull about everybody who has questions. You can go ahead and ask. I'm pulling, and I've got tarot for you. So shorter. Well, you can give me a theme if you want. Yes, no questions are fine. If you want to know about specific situations, just ask. We're going to do 1221. Let me see what can the cards tell us about 1221. Yeah. Let's see what the cards can tell us about, or how do we want to ask it? What's the most important thing to know about 1221? I like that. What's the most important thing for me to know about 1221? I'm using my non-dominant hand, and I'm not looking. Here's active. We'll pull active and passive. Passive. Shit. I don't know what 1221 is going to be. There's going to be a huge bright star. Oh, the great conjunction is going to be a huge bright star. So what we need to know about 1221 is oppression. Actively is we need to know about oppression. And so that sounds like we're going to be put in some situations where what freedom is to us and what we do is going to be affected. And it feels like the winners are going to be the ones that can think their way out of it. And I think that's why Yana was talking about getting back in touch with your creator and getting back in touch with your spiritual self, because it sounds like there might be some environments that don't encourage our growth. Is the most gentle way I can say that. Passively, swiftness. So here's the cards we have to deal with for 1221. Oppression, which is the idea that you're being tethered to something, or like somebody has your stuff, right? That you're subjugated to someone. And then swiftness, which is about moving effectively and quickly. An 8 and a 10. And so these are the cards that we have to deal with for that 1221. Now, it looks like there's some astrological things that are coming in. 1221 is winter solstice. It's when Capricorn starts. And it's the shortest, right? Yeah, the shortest day of the year. Yes. Yes. I was getting tripped up. As soon as I said shortest, I was thinking spring equinox and fall equinox. And I was like, no. It's a solstice. I know what I'm doing. It's the shortest day of the year. Shortest day of light here in the Northern Hemisphere. So I wonder if that's a day where we should go. Should we go outside to look at the star that's brighter than Bethlehem, or should we stay in the house? Maria, you have to tell me. So that's cool. I guess it's going to be me and you hanging out today. I guess it was really fun, though. Thank you for asking questions and hanging out and asking and kind of doing my whole live thing with me. Let's pull another card for what we need to look at for, what do we want to ask? You're so welcome. What do we need to do for the rest of the night? I know what I'm going to ask. Should I come back on and do a live later? That's what I want to know. What do y'all think? Let's call. Should we do a live later? Let's see. I'm going to pull 3 cards. Here's 1, 2, and 3. So probably not. I can get probably not today. Satiety. So there's some emotional satisfaction that I have and that I will if I go again. Thank you, watchers. And then it's not in alignment with my dream, and I have other stuff I have to do. So my cards told me to stop procrastinating, which I actually should. So I'm going to do some of my Queen of Discs activities. which has to do with my home here. And I will catch up with you guys tomorrow. So have a great night. Thanks for watching High Tarot. Like and share. Come back. Bye.